took them to my luthier and said, can you put these in? I want all the electronics out and I just want it wide as a normal Strat. So I stripped it out myself, took all the original parts with me just in case we had a problem. I ordered the pickups, new 5-way switch and 3 new pots. Took it to him, he wired it up like a normal Strat, and now I'm really happy with it. It's wrong to have a battery in a guitar. It's not a fucking toy, man. It's a guitar. It's made of wood and metal, not batteries. Yeah, maple neck. Very boring neck. It's fat as well. It's a really chunky neck. Really fat. It's 50s soft V, which I like. It's nice to play. It's really get hold of it. Yeah, you can really get hold of it, and not built for speed though, that's for sure. But it's very comfortable. It's got Gotto tuners, 50s style. I'm not that keen on them, to be honest. They're not very smooth. I mean, they're decent quality, but they're not the smoothest tuners I've ever used. But they do the job. They do the job. Truss rod access from this end. I think it's, I can't remember what it is, but Clapton made his guitar up of a couple of different ones. I got a feeling it's maybe like a 50s neck on a 60s body or something. But an interesting thing about this, when I had the Organic built, I wanted this neck. So I asked him to template the neck. And when he templated it like the 3rd, 5th, 7th and 12th. When he did it around the back of the 3rd, when he went to match up, so he takes the template and then he matches it up to check the symmetry. This bottom edge, or was it, sorry, the top edge, as you're playing, where your thumb goes, was flatter than the bottom edge. And he said the reason that is because when Fender do these like signature guitars, because this is based on Blackie, they basically laser the guitar, so whatever wear that it's got on it will get put onto the model. It's like here, the scratch plate, it's a single ply, but here there's like a gap, and I went to the shop and said, hey dudes, you fucked my guitar up, it's got a bent scratch plate. They said, no, the reason it's got a bent scratch plate is because Eric Clapton's has a bent scratch plate. I was like, okay, so if you want to buy a guitar with imperfections, buy a Fender Signature guitar, because they come with all the imperfections the original had. Okay, this is the Organic Classic, which is like, when I bought it, it was the middle model. There was a standard, the Classic and the Custom. Standard is just solid Padauk, which is this wood on the back. Classic comes with a flame or quilt top, no extra charge, it's just a standard price for each level. The Custom adds cost to each thing you have on top of the Classic options that you can get, if that makes sense. This really should have ended up being a Custom, I think, just because of the stuff it has on it, the extra options. We have a master grade, there's a light, see if we can get it, master grade quilt top. I waited ages for this. I think it was 9 months. There was lots of pieces of wood that exchanged emails. Do you like this one? Not really. What about this one? Not really. What about this one? No, not really. Eventually this one came about, and it was nice. It's got great depth to it. It's really striking. There's a lot going on in that top, and it really changes depending on the angle. The light isn't the best for showing it off, but yeah, that sun's just pissing me off. So yeah, it's Padauk back. It's got a 1mm ebony sandwich. Yeah, I'll try and get a close up of that in a minute. Around in between the Padauk and the top, and then a master grade quilt maple. It's a Macassar ebony fingerboard. Padauk neck. The knobs Macassar ebony. Switch is Macassar ebony. Pickup rings Macassar ebony. String through body. I don't know what the bridge is. It's quite a simple bridge. It's literally just a bridge with adjustable saddles that slide backwards and forwards. It's really nothing special, just very functional. which is what you want really. Nothing overcomplicated, there's less to go wrong. 22 frets. The same piece of quilted maple is used on the body on the top, and I don't know if you can see that, but there's the Marshall engraving, which is my son's name and also the name of this guitar. They are Mikasa ebony tuner buttons. There's lots of ebony on this guitar. I don't actually like the tuners that much. They are Goto, I think. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, Goto Delta series, I think. But they're a little bit fiddly to get the string off and on. I don't quite understand how they work. It's not just a simple case of like undoing them and doing them back up. I'm never quite sure what I'm doing with them. I always get there in the end, but I'd rather have something like a shallow back locker. So I might get those changed. There's a 0.5mm sandwich. I don't know if you can see it. Let's try and find it. There we go. 0.5mm Mikasa ebony sandwich between the Padauk and the maple on the headstock. All recessed hardware as well. So as you can see, the tuners sit down into the headstock. You can see that all this stuff sits down in its own little holes. Everything's nice and neat. The bridge also, the pickups are recessed, so they're, apart from the pickups themselves, everything else is flush to the body. These are bare knuckles. They're actually made for organic guitars. Duncan went to them and said, what pickups can you do? And Tim, who is the guy I believe owns, I would imagine, Bare Knuckle, said, well, let me make you a pair, we'll try them in the guitars and see what matches the guitar the best. So yeah, they are bare knuckle organic pickups. I don't know what they're close to out of the regular bare knuckle range, but they're nice. They're pretty hot. The switching options are quite cool on this as well. We've got 2 coil taps. Each pot is tapped. So if I go leave both humbuckers activated, it's just a regular humbucker with 3 positions. So you've got bridge, both, neck. If I tap it with both of them, we go outer coil bridge, out of phase with the outer coils, like a Strat out of phase tone, and then to the neck it gives you a regular neck single coil. Now the interesting twist on the switching options is if I go to the middle and untap the bridge, I get a bridge humbucker and a neck single coil. If I tap the bridge and untap the neck, I get the neck humbucker and the bridge single coil, which makes it quite a versatile guitar, to be honest. It can cover a pretty wide range of tones. Also the neck join is something I like on this guitar. Don't know how well we can see that. There you go. It comes across at an angle. Not doing very well with that camera angle. You see it comes across at an angle there. Gives a stronger join and a better transfer of sustain. And when Duncan was making these, he said the ones he went wrong with, he tested them out by leaning them up against a wall like this and then like kicking in the middle of the neck. He said they never ever broke at the join. It was always kind of in the middle of the neck, which is testament to how strong that neck joint is, I think. The clean tones on this aren't the best of all my guitars. They're reasonable, but they're not the greatest. The PRS, I think, is probably one of the best, or the Scallop Strat probably has the best clean tones. But as soon as you start putting the dirt on, this thing is an absolute monster. I mean, sort of Gary Moore style blues or Joe Bonamassa, anything which has got quite a lot of dirt on it, this thing really sings. I mean, the neck, considering this is a very small body guitar, it's very sleek. There's not much to it. It weighs about 8 pounds, but the neck pickup's really full. It's really thick, and the bridge pickup is really nasty, really nasty.